Okay, everyone. So, real quick, I'm just going to be discussing what we're going to be doing today. So, just a quick rundown. This is for entertainment purposes. I truly feel this way about these characters, but I don't want you to be jealous. So, what I'll say is, we have different personalities, but same characters that we all like. And I want to make sure you don't think I'm trying to personally take away your favorite characters. Just because I like them doesn't mean you don't have to anymore. So, I have the questions right here. If Scar and Xiao from Genshin Impact were both in a horror game, who would most likely die first? And this is on Gemini. Because, like, why not? So it says, this is a fun and interesting question. To figure out who would die first in a horror game between Scar and one. Oh my gosh, man. I forgot to say I got some bad reading. Anyways, between Scar and Xiao, we need to analyze their personalities, strengths, and weaknesses through the lens of horror movie tropes. Tropes? Tropes? Strengths. Xiao is a powerful warrior with millennia of combat experience. His fast, agile, and incredible endurance. In a horror game, he would be the first to confront the monster head on. His primary instinct is to fight and protect. He's also used to suffering and enduring pain. Aww. Which might give him an edge in a physical confrontation or a chase scene. I don't think he would have a chase scene. Is that what it means? That he won't have one? Give him the edge in the I don't know what that means. Anyways, Xiao's biggest weakness is his single-mindedness and self-sacrificial nature. He would likely charge into a dangerous situation without a second thought to protect a civilian or confront a threat directly. This is a classic horror movie trope for the hero who dies early on because they underestimate the enemy or sacrifice themselves for others. He's also prone to impulsivity and doesn't always think strategically. They're doing so many big words. Ugh. In social content, which could lead him into a trap. Now, Scar is intelligent, manipulative, and quick-witted. He's not a frontline fighter like Xiao, but his strength lies in strategy and deception. He would be the one to figure out the monster's weaknesses. Weaknesses? Where did I even get that from? Anyways, manipulate others to do his bidding and find a way to escape rather than to fight. Just imagine two is right there, okay? He's also a skilled liar and actor, which could allow him to blend in or deceive the monster. His lack of empathy makes him less likely to sacrifice himself for others. Scar's biggest weakness is his ignorance and his tendency to underestimate his opponents. He might get caught in a trap because he believes he's too smart to be fooled. He's also not physically as strong or durable as Xiao, so in a direct confrontation, he would be at a disadvantage. His manipulative nature could also backfire if he's the only one left, and the monster targets him specifically for his desire, I don't know. Based on this analysis, Xiao would definitely die first. But there's more, guys. There's more. Here's why. The self-sacrificial hero trope. Xiao fits this trope exactly perfectly. In a horror game, the character who rushes in to fight the monster head on is almost always the first to fall. His overwhelming need to protect and his lack of self-preservation would lead him to make a fatal mistake early on. Xiao's approach is see monster, fight monster. I'm sorry, y'all. I need a quote from that. See monster, fight monster. This is a terrible strategy in a horror game, where the enemy often has a unique weakness or can't be defeated by convenient conventional means. You definitely know what that said. He wouldn't take the time to observe or plan, which would be his downfall. Scar's survival instincts. Scar, on the other hand, is a master of survival. His first instinct would to be escape, not to fight. He would analyze the situation, find the monster's weakness, and use his intelligence and manipulation skills to outwit it. He would use others as pawns and wouldn't hesitate to sacrifice someone else to save himself. This makes him the ideal final girl, or in this case, final boy, of the horror story. While Xiao is a much more powerful fighter, his personality and combat style are ill-suited for the survival genre. Scar's strategic mind and selfish nature would give him a significant advantage, allowing him to last much longer, even if he's a less physically capable character. My next text is coming up. What if I was also in a horror game? And again, this is for entertainment purposes, okay? And I was their girlfriend. Would that change their minds? Would they focus on protecting me? This is an excellent follow-up question. Introducing a beloved character like a girlfriend completely changes the dynamic, and in some ways flips the scripts on the previous analysis. Let's re-examine Scar and Xiao with you in the mix. Xiao with a girlfriend. Oh my gosh. Where's my breath? Oh my gosh. The unwavering protector. Xiao's entire purpose is to protect. His loyalty is fierce and absolute. If you were his girlfriend, his protective instincts would be amplified tenfold. He wouldn't just see you as someone to protect. He would see you as the most important person in the world. And I like that because that is like so cute. The most important person in the world. Because usually, even if I think that even if he was a bad person, Xiao will protect you anyways. But I got a question. Would he protect himself? No, he probably wouldn't. He wants to die. I just feel like he just wants to die. Like, he wants to take away all this pain, but every single time when he tried to just it didn't work. Anyways, this new motivation would be both his greatest strength and his greatest weakness. He would absolutely focus on protecting you, but his method would still be the same: brute force and self-sacrifice. He would throw himself at any threat to keep you safe, regardless of any of the odds. He wouldn't stop to think or strategize, and he would likely become a shield between you and the monster. This could lead to his death, and oh my gosh, bro, what do you see? And bro, as he would be so focused on protecting you that he'd become a predictable target. Xiao again would die first, but his death would be even more tragic. He would sacrifice himself to save you, making his death a heroic and emotional moment rather than a strategic blunder. He would die protecting you, which is actually how he'd want to go. So here it says, which is exactly how he'd want to go. And he would die protecting me. Y'all would probably be like, how he want to go? What do you mean by that? How he wants to go means like it's not like he wants to die, but because I'm his girlfriend, he cares a lot about me because he cares a lot about any civilian. Yeah. So, just like just like the civilians, he cares a lot about me, and he would die on protecting me, and he would die on protecting a civilian. You know what I mean? But not really. This can be anybody. I for real do not even care. Anyways, Scar with a girlfriend. The unexpected soft spot. Scar's entire character arc is about finding a place to belong and a reason to care. A girlfriend would be a massive catalyst for his growth. He would still be intelligent and manipulative, but his focus would shift from how do I save myself to how do I save us. That's my favorite part, bro. Like, that is so cute. Like, anyways, Scar wouldn't charge in to fight a monster. He would assess the situation, find the monster's weakness, and create a plan to escape. He would see you as not a damsel in distress, but a partner in survival. Ooh, I like that. I like that. He'd likely instruct you what to do. Ugh. Of course he would. Tell you to hide and use his intellect to outsmart the threat. One moment. Let me make sure I don't need to hide. Okay. Anyways, he might even use his manipulative skills to lead the monster away from you, or to create a diversion. Scar is not the self-sacrificial type, but with a loved one, he might be willing to do something he wouldn't normally. Okay, I had to make sure I read that right. He would still prioritize his own survival, but he would also prioritize yours. So, I'm just giving an example here. If there's nothing to make a diversion with, then or maybe it's like we need to find the key to escape type of game. Maybe the key would be like right here and like very far away, but also very close at the same time. Or maybe I already have the key in my hand and the monster would be right there. He would probably be like, run. And then he would probably slit, y'all know. And then I would be running, I turn the key, I get out. Where was I? Oh, if he had to choose between his life and yours, he might might make the ultimate sacrifice, but it wouldn't be a strategic one, not an impulsive one. He might plan to create bro. He might create a plan that would give you a chance to escape, even if it meant he didn't. Oh my gosh, bro. Dang it. Okay, I'm sorry. Scar would be far more likely to survive with you than without you. Okay. Your persistence would give him a reason to fight and to live, making him a more effective and dangerous survivor. He would likely be the one to get both of you out alive, using his wit and cunning to overcome the horror. Conclusion. Even with you in the game, Xiao is still a dummy. The core of his character is his protective, self-sacrificial nature. With you there, that nature would be magnified, which means zoomed in or more focused on, basically, leading him to make the ultimate sacrifice for your safety. His death would be heroic and heartbreaking. Oh my gosh, bro. Exactly. That's the thing. Xiao always charges at any dangers he sees. But you don't think, what if I die in front of the civilian? They will probably cry. Because they know that I was trying to save their life. But I failed doing it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Scar, on the other hand, wait, did I already read that? Oh no, Scar, on the other hand, would be changed by your persistence. You would give him a reason to care and a motivation to survive, not just for himself, but both of you. His intelligence and strategic mind would make him an ideal protector, and his cunning would be a much more effective tool for survival than Xiao's raw power in a horror game setting. He would be the one to get you both out alive. So, reading all of this, I actually have another question. And that question is... What is that question? I'm trying to give Xiao a reason, to actually live. What if I instructed shall not to charge, and I'm just like, I'm trying to make this short. What if I instructed Xiao not to charge? This is a crucial turning point. Your instruction to Xiao not to charge is the variable that could possibly change everything. That can potentially change everything. Because I told Xiao not to charge, this one could possibly be Scar, because I feel like I'm thinking it could possibly be Scar because I'm so sorry, y'all. I wish this was faster. It could possibly be Scar that can die because I told Xiao not to charge, which means that for the most part he wouldn't try to save my life. But Scara, on the other hand, might still save my life. Because, again, with that key thing and Scara being there, I feel like Scar would say the same thing. He would be like, run. And, I would be able to run out. But he'd probably still die. But since I told Xiao not to charge, then he probably wouldn't even sacrifice himself. And I feel like that would be okay. And I feel like that'll actually activate his brain. Because that means that I need to figure out a way not to fight the enemy and not to die by the enemy if he even thinks about death. But I would definitely do that if I was him. Yeah. Anyways, let's break down how this would play out, considering the deep-seated aspects of Xiao's character. Ooh, Xiao's instincts versus your commands. I like how they said versus. Ooh. The Adeptus' duty. Xiao has spent oh my gosh, bruh. Melanina. Manilia. I'm close. I know I'm getting close. Manilia? I don't know. Fighting to protect Liyue, often alone. His methods are ingrained. See evil, vanquish evil. This is not just a personality trait. It's part of his very being. The charge in mentally is his default, his duty, and his way of coping with the immense karmic depths he carries. So, I don't know anything about his karmic depths, but I feel like what that means is, well, I didn't get to this part on Genshin Impact yet, but I feel like His karmic depths is immortality, because immortality is something that we all want, but think about when we actually get it. When we have immortality, sure, we get to live for a long time, but then we see a whole bunch of other people die. And we get to see the AIs change. We get to see the actual zombie apocalypse. We get to see maybe even the AI apocalypse. We get to see people dying. And we get to see some things that aren't even really entertaining anymore. And y'all just think about this. Like, y'all know how sometimes you find a very funny video and you replay it so many times that it's not even funny to you anymore? Yeah, that's how it is in life. When some things do not feel the same. But let's keep reading. However, Xiao has also shown a growing capacity for trust and willingness to listen to those he cares about. You, as his girlfriend, represent a powerful exception to his usual loner mindset. Your voice holds a weight that no one else's does. A direct command from you would challenge the very core of his fighting instinct. When you tell him not to charge, he wouldn't just agree without a thought. He would be torn. His entire being, his entire being would be screaming to go, to fight, to protect you from the threat. But your instruction would force him to pause, to consider an alternative. You better be smart, bruh. I swear, if I scroll all the way down there and it says, Xiao will still be the first one to die, bruh. Because I just gave you so much stuff, bro. I'm trying to make sure you win at least one of these. I don't think you will, though. I mean, if it's not this one, then I'll probably only have like 2 more chances. And then, nope. This moment of hesitation is also the most dangerous part of him. It is a conflict between his millennia old duty and his new, deeply personal bond with you. He hesitates, and it's too late. Oh my! Wait. This is the most likely and tragic outcome. The monster bursts through the door, or a trap is sprung to tell him to wait, to be careful. He listens, if only for a split second, but that 1 second of inaction is all the monster needs to land a blow or I know this word. Incapacitate. I know it's like when you use a thingy and decapitate. That's what I was thinking about. I don't know what this is. One of you. In a horror game, the monster often preys on hesitation. His self-sacrifice might become a desperate last-minute action to get you to safety after a moment of doubt. Oh my gosh, Sean. they're about to say he's gonna die again. So I guess the next one I'm gonna do after this is I don't even know, bruh. Bruh. He dies, but with your words echoing in his mind, and you are left to live with the knowledge that your instruction might have contribute to his demise. This is the most hopeful but still incredibly dangerous scenario. He would not charge. Instead, he would adapt. He would still fight, but with a new, more strategic approach. One that prioritizes your safety above all else. He might use his agility to create a diversion, luring the monster away while you escape. He might use his power to hold the monster off while you run. This is what I was saying for Scara, but I guess not. He would become a strategic predator instead of an impulsive one. This is a massive shift in his character, a testament to the influence you have on him. However, this is still a high risk strategy, and his chances of him surviving is still slim. His survival would be a huge character development moment, but the horror game environment is too often too unforgiving for such a charge to be successful. In this scenario, he completely disregards your words. He sees the anger in his instinct takes over. He knows that his power is still the only thing that can save you. No, what can save me is running. What can save me is definitely running. And he charges in, just as he waits. Just as he would have originally. He makes the ultimate sacrifice, knowing that you will be safe. You are left to mourn him. Exactly, bro. He's only thinking about saving me. You should be thinking, when I die, she's gonna be dehydrating herself. I don't care about the crying part. I'm dehydrating myself, bro. This is how I actually feel, bro. That's how I feel. Where was I? Mourn him. But you are alive because he chose his ancient duty over your plea. What the Anyways, this is a very classic heartbreaking horror movie ending. I thought it would say you're the first. Shouldn't it be me to actually be the first one to die? But then no, because I'm the creator of the horror game and all of the stuff that happens in the horror game. Okay. Even if you instruct Xiao not to charge, it's highly probable that he would still be the one to die first. Your command would not fundamentally change his core natural as a self-sacrificial protector. If he listens, his hesitation would likely lead to a fatal error, either for himself or both of you. One for both of us would be a happy ending, really. That would really be a happy ending if we were both to die at the same time. But why the flip wouldn't you listen to me, bruh? You're supposed to listen to me. If you don't, you get slapped for the rest of your life. Every day you wake up, every day when I see you, bro, I'm slapping you. Slap, slap, slap. That's how I feel. Not like seriously, that's how I feel. Anyways, if he changes his strategy, the odds are still heavily stacked against him, as the horror game is designed to punish even the most powerful of heroes. If he disobeys, he dies a hero, fulfilling his destiny as a guardian. See, he wants to die. He wants to die. But if you want to die, why do you keep fighting? Anyways, your your presence and your plea would not save him, but it would charge the nature of his death. It would no longer be a simple strategic failure. It would be a profound moment of love, sacrifice, and the tragic conflict between his past and his present. He would die for you. And that is a fate he would accept without question. Oh, flipping gosh, bruh. Okay. So I'm just gonna say, what is a way Xiao can live with both of us? Because of Xiao, this will never happen, bro. Oh my gosh. Anyways, this is an ultimate puzzle. How can Xiao, with his deeply ingrained self-sacrificial nature, survive a horror game alongside you? It requires a specific set of circumstances that would allow his strengths to shine without leading to his typical fatal flaw. Here are a few ways Xiao can live with both of you surviving the horror game. The escort mission scenario. In this scenario, the horror game isn't about fighting the monster head on, but rather about escaping a haunted location. The goal is to reach a designated safe point. You, as a girlfriend, would not be a damsel in distress. Instead, you would be the strategist, the one with the map, the plan, and the objective. I can actually see that. Your instructions would be less about don't charge and more about go there, get this key, or find that escape route. Xiao's role would be to clear the path and protect you from minor threats. He would be the one to dispatch smaller, weaker enemies or hold off a larger monster just long enough for you to get through a locked door or solve a puzzle. His strength would be used for its indeed purpose, to create a safe path for you to follow. Oh my gosh, bruh. The main antagonist of the horror game would be an unbeatable entity, something that can be defeated by conventional means, like a cursed spirit or a physical manifestation of a psychological trauma. This forces Xiao to use his agility and speed to invade rather than to engage. He would have to learn to run, to hide, and to outsmart the monster alongside you, rather than just trying to kill it. Finally, bro! Find the freaking way! Okay. Finally. Anyways, that was just the first one. Okay. Second one. This scenario focuses on a specific game mechanic that allows Xiao to harness his power in a controlled way, but with a high risk. The horror game could introduce an element that affects Xiao's karmic depth, perhaps amplifying it to the point where it can go up into a berserker state. This state would make him incredibly powerful and able to defeat the monster, but it would also carry a risk of losing himself to the rage, potentially harming you or himself. You as the anchor. Your role would be to act as Xiao's anchor. You would be the only one who can pull him back from the uh from the brink. The game would require you to perform a specific action, say finding a certain item, singing a specific song, or performing a flippin' ritual that would calm his rage and bring him back to his senses that he doesn't have. This scenario would allow Xiao to use his immense power to save both of you. But the danger would not be from the monster. What? It would be from himself. The tension would come from the race against time. Can you find the item or complete the ritual before he loses himself completely? I don't like how this is sounding. This allows Xiao to be a hero without being a mindless, self-sacrificial one. He would be fighting for you, but his own survival would be necessary. A necessary condition for both of you to make it out alive. Well, let me say something real quick. What was I about to say? So what I was about to say, right, is if Xiao knew there was like two monsters, right? Let's say there was two monsters. He can't kill himself at the first monster, right? Because if he kills himself at the first monster, who's gonna save me from the other one? You know? So that would mean that he would have to live in order to save me from the other one. Maybe they were twins or something. Like, maybe they just look the same. Maybe they're son and dad or something. Like, for real. You have to live in order to kill the other one. Yeah, you can die at the other one, but I mean, like, I don't really care about you for it, but I um actually I wonder what happened if I said that to him. What if he doesn't care about me? I mean, what if I don't care about him? Will he still save me? I'm gonna look that up next. The teamwork scenario. This is a cooperative horror game where both you and Xiao have a specific complementary roles that are equally vital to survival. Your role as an observer, you will be the one to see the hidden clues, solve the puzzles, and understand the lore of the haunted location. You will be the one who knows that the monster can only be harmed by a specific type of light or that it's afraid of a certain sound. You would be the one to lead the way and give instructions. Xiao's job would be to implement your instructions. You would tell him, hit that switch or use that item now. He would be your strong arm, your protector, and the one who makes sure you have enough time to complete your task. Well, this doesn't really seem fair. He's doing all the physical stuff, and the only thing I need to do is say stuff. That feels a little sad. Anyways, he would still fight, but his fighting would be in service of your strategy, not as a primary goal. In this scenario, neither of you can survive yourself without the other. If you get caught, he can't fight the monster without your knowledge. If he gets caught, you can't survive the monster on your own. Your survival would be a symbolic relationship where both your strengths are required to overcome the challenge. In all of these scenarios, the key to Xiao's survival is his sacrificial nature to be either redirected, controlled, or balancing, oh my gosh, by your presence and your actions. He can't survive by just being Xiao. He needs you to give him a reason to live, not just a reason to die for you. Exactly, that's what I was saying about the two monsters. But this is kind of getting sad, not even gonna lie. Yeah, what was I about to say for this one? What if I never liked Xiao? So now I'm not sure if I'm still using the horror game thing. What if I never liked Xiao? Would he still protect me? Probably not. I feel like no. He would. Ugh. It says, based on the information available, Xiao's drive to protect you is not rooted in personal affection or whether he is liked. His duty is to protect Liyue and his people, a vow he made to Rex Lapis, Morex, and Zhongli, basically. He is known as a silent guardian who prefers solitude and rarely interacts with mortals. He has a reserved demeanor and has little intention of getting close to others. Okay, did y'all hear that? Has no wait. Has little intention of getting close to others. If some of you may know, in Genshin Impact, there's this little cutscene that you get when what happened? When you had Ningguang, Ganyu, and all these other people here, teaching, Cloud Retainer, everybody else. I don't know nobody else's name for real. But Xiao was there, and we was there. We are either Lumine or Ether, usually. And it don't matter who you are. He saves us. Xiao literally saves us. He puts his arm around us. And this is when we was falling. I'm not sure which adventure rank this is, but it's when I don't remember, bruh. Oh, it's after Child's boss fight. And when he was trying to take away the thingy that he thought that we had, even though we didn't have it. And Zhongli had it the whole time. He ended up waking someone that Zhongli didn't like and who he fought back in the war with all of the adept. No, I'm lying. With all of the Archons. There was more than 7 Archons once, but there are 7 who actually lived. I wonder what their backstories is, for real, and why did they decide to let them live? And why are they acting like they all friends? Even though they fought in the war, you know what I mean? Like, at first, wasn't you all planning to destroy them? And now you want to be friends with them? Anyway, I'm getting off topic. His protection is thankless, endless battle that he endures with a heavy karmic debt. If you never liked him, his sense of duty would still likely remain the same. He would protect you because you are a part of the world. He is sworn to protect. His actions are based on his normal code as an Adeptus. Not on his emotional connection to an individual. He has a story of fighting for others, even when he keeps his distance from them, due to his role as a protector and his promise. Therefore, your feelings towards him would not change his mind about protecting you. He would likely protect you regardless. Viewing it as his solemn duty. Why can't I ever get this stuff right? But it's looking like the first one is the only one that can really get him to actually live. So Scara wins because I can see exactly why Xiao would just charge and wouldn't really even care for real, unless he had to fight other monsters. Xiao would just, she would just charge, and that's really a bad thing. I like how Scar just like he uses his intelligence. He doesn't have a little brain like Xiao's, even though Scar is 800 and Xiao is 2,000 years old. I'm wondering why Xiao has such a small brain when he's lived for so long. And Scar didn't even live for that long. Bro's brain is bigger than Xiao's. Like, anyways, as we all saw today, I have some very bad reading. And, now we know who dies first. Scar and Xiao.